Hey, Mary. Good
Hey,
afternoon.
Andrea, how are you?
I'm doing well. It's so good to see you. I'm so glad you're
You,
back.
you too. You were showing me your shirt a minute ago. You want to show everybody else what your shirt is?
Yeah, so shout out to Brenda. She sent me this XRP retirement plan t-shirt. And I was
Yep.
telling Mary, I'm like, not only I like the design, but it's very comfortable.
Even better.
And it's like kind of like perfect timing, right? So tomorrow the SEC is meeting with Ripple. It's a Sunshine Act conference, and what's on the docket is settlement discussion. So let's see what happens.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So the
So, yeah, so settlement meaning that they will come up hopefully with the final payment amount that Ripple will have to pay the SEC, and then we'll be done with it. And then, the sky's the limit to see what XRP does.
exactly. Because, like, a lot of corporations and institutions aren't going to feel comfortable investing in XRP's like protocol or, any of their businesses until that lawsuit is settled, right?
Right.
So,
Right. Even though XRP has been deemed as not a security, this is just the final piece that we've been waiting over a year for.
exactly. And the charts are looking good. The narrative is looking good. I'm seeing people that never used to talk about XRP. All of a sudden, everyone's talking about XRP. And and again, I think it's going to be super bullish if the SEC says don't pay a fine. I mean, Ripple paid $150 million representing themselves in this lawsuit, which is just a tragedy for America, for citizens. I think I was listening to one of the conferences. I think about 11% of all developers went overseas to do blockchain business, which is innovation.
Right? Yeah, the SEC is just, kind of tying everybody's hands, and they're they're acting like bullies and butting their nose in where they really don't have any authority, and they just need to stop. They just need to stop.
Right. It's an overreach of the law. And
Yeah.
especially with everything going on now, Mary, don't you think it's a good idea to follow the rule of law?
Oh, yeah. That's always a good idea. You may not agree with it, but it's a good idea to follow it.
Right. And
Yeah.
it's just one example of what's going on in the world.
Right?
Yeah. So,
Yeah, so XRP is up almost 8% today.
okay, I thought you were
Which
checking
is
out
pretty
the chart.
cool. Yeah, I'm looking at the chart. It would be healthy for it to have a pullback at some point in time. But I think we're at the point where we are about to go into that price discovery, and XRP probably won't until Bitcoin does. But I think Bitcoin is so close to price discovery.
Absolutely.
It's doing well also. So yeah, we're in a good spot. We are right at the point where, boom, we're going to go up.
Yeah, it's like we're getting to the point in the bull run where when we wake up in the morning and we check the prices of our cryptos at any given day, we could be like, whoa, XRP is up 75% overnight.
Right?
Like that's how fast the crypto market moves. And it's
Yeah.
just it's kind of like why we always just say we feel so bullish, right?
Yes, we do.
Yep.
Yeah.
We got a lot going on, and I think we'll start seeing more and more announcements. We got Ripple's coming out with their stable coin. Um, I believe by Q4 this year. So, a couple months, and that's going to help bring more utility to the XRP ledger, right? Because we don't want
Right.
to hold XRP if XRP's 60 cents today and then it goes up to $5 and then it crashes back down to 80 cents. Like we don't want to hold, we want a stable coin. So
Yes,
it's going to
yes,
be a good thing. And it's a good thing for all of the blockchains to have a stable coin.
absolutely, absolutely. And it's a great place to put your proceeds when you sell your XRP. You could put it right into their stable coin and just let it ride. Just let it ride. It's with the definition of the stable coin, it's a good spot for it. And take your profits and put it in the stable coin.
No, and it's such a good thing too, because like when you mention stable coin is something that is $1, right? It doesn't go up in
Yeah.
value, it doesn't go down in value. And we're actually holding that $1 value digitally, right? Tokenized on the blockchain, right? We're holding a digital representation of $1.
Right.
Would you rather have your dollar on the blockchain, or would you rather have your dollar in a bank?
Blockchain all day long.
Right?
All day long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So, Ripple just finished up, they're finishing up their, they have a really big conference going on right now in Amsterdam. And, I just I find it interesting. When I first started researching Ripple and XRP Ledger had 150 nodes, right? So 150, think about it as computer service, like systems all over the world.
Right.
150 today, 600.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're becoming more and more decentralized, which means more and more secure, right?
Exactly.
A bank, not secure. One point
Yeah.
of failure. Yeah.
One point of failure. Yeah.
Yep.
Exciting times we're in right now.
I know. It's super exciting. It's super exciting. And it's, and again, it's just like you and I have talked about, like, the world is pretty chaotic. It's so unstable. And we know that the answer to all of this is love, unity, coming together,
Right.
compromise. We're not going to solve these issues by violence. And it's like, as we move towards the new system with the more and more instability, I think it's a really good idea to talk about, like, this is why Bitcoin was created.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. Well, it was created back there, in what, 2008, when everything was so unstable. So unstable.
Exactly. Right. Everything was so unstable, and again, I think like the power has gone to the few elite, and they're controlling the centralized system. So Bitcoin gives the average person the opportunity to be sovereign, to become your own bank, have a hedge against what's going on right now. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but when
No,
I look at what is going on, it makes me want to buy Bitcoin, gold, and silver.
exactly.
And a
Exactly.
farm far, far away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think like that, and I think more people are becoming educated, but there's a big difference between holding Bitcoin, right, than holding a Bitcoin spot ETF, right, or holding crypto on Venmo.
Well, yeah, and that huge difference is the fact that if you hold Bitcoin and you've got it on your hardware wallet, you have the keys, you have total control. If you've got the ETF or doing it through Venmo or PayPal or any of those institutions, you don't hold the keys for that Bitcoin. You don't own it. You have invested in it, but you can't move it to a hardware wallet. It's just not possible. So you're still not in control. You're not your own bank if you've invested that way.
Exactly, exactly. It's like super interesting. So Ro and I are heading out for a vacation in the mountains, right? In Western North Carolina. And she went to the bank because we wanted to get more cash. And she came home and she's like, they'd only let me take out 300. We need permission to get our money, and we are limited on how much money we can take out. Now with Bitcoin, I can just put my hardware wallet in my pocket and carry it around with me at all times.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I just think it's such a crucial component of what's going on. And it's such a great technological solution. right?
It is. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
It is so brilliant because, Mary, who's the CEO of Bitcoin?
Who's the CEO of Bitcoin?
Yeah, no one,
Nobody.
right? What government jurisdiction does Bitcoin fall under?
None.
None.
Absolutely none.
Open source, transparent, permissionless, peer-to-peer technology. This is awesome.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it gives me chills.
Right. And, there are so many governments around the world that are adopting cryptocurrency, especially Bitcoin, as, official government currency or an acceptable way to trade in their country.
Yeah.
And I just wish the United States would get on board with that.
No, absolutely. And it's interesting too, because during the times of Silk Road, right, any new technology, we have nefarious actors. We had the
Right.
internet. When the internet first came out, there was, a lot of shenanigans going on. When Bitcoin first came out, lots of shenanigans going on. But now it's like the United States was able to confiscate a bunch of Bitcoin during the times of Silk Road. And they are, I believe, the fourth largest holder of Bitcoin. We're not, the United States, we're not far behind, we're far behind in innovation. High paying jobs are going across seas, which is so sad to see. We want high paying jobs to stay here in the United States. But again, with hostile SEC and a government that does nothing to give us the rules of, the rules of the road, right?
Right.
Um, that's concerning, but the United States still holds a good amount of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
And did you see when I posted how deflationary Bitcoin is?
I did. I did. That tells such a huge story.
Right? Right.
Yeah.
So I think the average price of a house is 400,000.
Mm-hmm.
And back in 2012, we needed almost 76,000 Bitcoin. And then in 2016, we needed 924 Bitcoin.
Right.
2020, we needed 55 Bitcoin. And today we only need just over 6 Bitcoin to buy a $400,000 house.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So inflation devalues the dollar. We need more dollars, right, to buy the same house. And at the same time, we need a lot less Bitcoin.
Right. Right. And the value just keeps going up. I mean, in this bull market, the value is skyrocketed like crazy. I mean, a year ago, I was paying, I think, 27K for Bitcoin. Now, I wasn't buying an entire Bitcoin, but that was the rate. And right now, Bitcoin is what? It's 64, 65.
Yeah.
Bitcoin is at 64, 64.4. So, I mean, the return on the investment is amazing. I mean, if I would have put 27K in the bank, do you think today it would be worth 64.4? No way.
No way. No way. Right. I
The
mean,
bank might have given me a couple dollars of interest, if that.
right.
Yeah.
But that's not a good hedge against inflation.
No,
It's
you're
just
losing money by keeping it in the bank.
exactly. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And again, it's just like I think about, during the great financial crisis when we had the Great Recession and, Cyprus got bailed in, all the citizens of Cyprus went to bed and woke up the next morning, everyone got a 15% haircut. The government needed their money, they took it, right? And
Right.
what happened is that a lot of those citizens turned to Bitcoin. So in times of uncertainty, and where we're going to store our wealth, I think it's smart, again, not financial advice, but I think it's smart just to diversify and hold some Bitcoin as a store of value, a way to preserve our wealth. Same thing with Venezuela. Venezuela is going through hyperinflation you see the citizens, you know, allocating funds to Bitcoin.
Right.
So
Yeah.
big fan of Bitcoin. Not a bit, you know, and again, there's nothing I could do with these spot Bitcoin ETFs. I don't want BlackRock buying all the Bitcoin, but we're talking about tens of thousands of nodes or servers or computer systems all over the world globally. You know, very hard to control it and take it down. So we're still in a good position.
Yes.
You know, and again, it's just like when I think of like what are our options, I don't see the dollar like regaining strength until we have some sort of like reset, right?
Yeah. Yeah. If it ever does regain strength, who knows? It may or may not. It all depends on the political climate and what's going to happen in the world.
Right. And that's the other reason why I love Bitcoin so much. Because, you know, Bitcoin doesn't care who's president.
No,
Bitcoin doesn't care about government, doesn't care about fiat, right?
no.
Bitcoin is a mathematical algorithm that runs on its own without human intervention. It's so awesome.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Totally neutral.
Totally neutral. And that's exactly what we need, right? No one should
Yeah.
control the money. No one should tell citizens how much money they can use.
Mhm.
I mean, that's just basic stuff, right?
Right. Right. And nobody really needs to know what you're using your money on or how much of it you're spending. It's your business and nobody else's.
Exactly, exactly. You know, and Christine Lagarde, she's the president of the Central Bank of the European Union, and she basically said, she was like, you know, you can launder money in small fractions. I think like anything over $1,000 that's not reported to the government is a crime. We're criminals, Mary, for buying a couch.
Oh, well.
Yeah. So everyone needs to get educated, right? And that's the whole
Yeah.
point of this. The more education we have, the technology is there. So we don't have to rely on these institutions. You know, we don't have to rely on these governments anymore.
Mhm. Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. So basically we're just moving to internet magic money on our phone.
Hey, I have a question for you. Actually, not a question. It's just an observation because you had sent me some Stellar last night in payment for something I had done for you. And I was looking in my SafePal wallet this morning, and this will kind of educate folks a little bit on security of cryptocurrency. And in my SafePal wallet, I had like 11 transactions where somebody had sent me like a fraction of a Stellar. And when I go into it, it tells me claim your Stellar at stellarxdao.com. That's a huge red flag. If
Yeah.
somebody sends you any sort of cryptocurrency, you shouldn't have to go to another website to claim it, especially if they've sent it to your hardware wallet address. And you know, there's a lot of bad actors out there in the environment, and you have to educate yourself and be aware of what's going on and know that when you see something like this in your hardware wallet, you need to kind of be a little bit wary and leery of it. It's just like my clients. I own a computer repair business, and my clients will call me and say, hey, I've got this pop-up screen that's telling me I've got a virus, I've got a virus. I have to call Microsoft and so they can fix it. And it's a huge red flag, which is the same thing as these minute little transactions are. So people need to be aware that, you know, there's scammers out there no matter what, whether it's your computer, your hardware wallet, you know, it's somebody who's ringing your doorbell and wants to sell you something or calling you on the phone. You know, you have to be aware of what's going on and just say, it's not going to touch me. I don't need to buy into it just because somebody's calling me or ringing my doorbell or trying to put something in my hardware wallet doesn't mean I have to act.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up because scams will become more and more prevalent as
Yes.
the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency goes up even more, right? In the
Right.
height of the bull run, everyone's going to try to scam us out of our crypto.
Right.
Yeah. And that's why
Yeah.
I always say, when in doubt, reach out. If it seems like it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm so glad you brought that up. And another good thing too is I know you use a VPN as well as I do. And I think that that's one of the best security measures we can use to mask our IP address, especially when we're interacting with crypto. So no one's tracking us, correct?
Exactly. It masks your IP address and it puts a protective wrapper around your internet connection. So it keeps your data more secure than if you weren't using a VPN. So, yeah, highly recommend that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And well, you use Nord, is that right?
I use NordVPN. Yes.
Okay. And I use Molvad and I think it's great. So I haven't had any problems
Oh,
with it. Yeah, everything's been working really good. So
yeah.
so far so good.
Excellent. Excellent. So, what else do you want to chat about?
Well, I mean, besides XRP, I mean, I'm so super like excited about, again, it's like we've been in this coin for a long time. We've been hodling, hold on for dear life, right? Waiting for this moment to come. I'm also starting to get really super bullish about Ethereum because again, the narrative with this spot Ethereum ETF, it
Right.
looks like that's going to be launched by the end of this month.
Really?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
that's awesome.
Yep. So now I was listening to an interview with the CEO of Bitwise, which is an asset management company like BlackRock. And he said he thinks he thinks people are going to be surprised about how much money is going to flow into Ethereum.
Yeah, I think people are going to be surprised, but just the fact that they created a spot ETF product should tell everybody that a ton of money is going to flow into it. And who knows, XRP may be the next ETF.
Absolutely. I
We'll
mean,
see.
we gotta wait for this lawsuit to be over. I think Solana might have a better chance, Chainlink, but
Right?
you know what, Mary? They're all gonna have its day. Like they're all gonna like come and they're all gonna be solving, different problems in different areas, right?
Yeah,
Throughout the entire financial industry. Like as
yeah,
everything gets tokenized and put on the blockchain, it's gonna be super exciting. Like just in 3 months from now to see like who
right.
the winners are in certain areas.
Yeah, yeah. The whole landscape is going to change between now and the end of the year.
Yeah. Yep.
Totally going to change.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All we need is one big announcement, right?
Right? And you know what I think is amusing is that all of your friends and family who have been telling you for 3 years now that you are crazy for investing in the cryptocurrency market, I guarantee you 3 months from now they're going to call you and say, now, what do you think I should invest in? What's the best thing? What's the best bang for my buck? They're going to see what's going on. It's going to become newsworthy what's happening in the crypto market, and
Absolutely.
they are going to all of a sudden become your best friends.
Yeah. And I'm surprised that people aren't more educated about what's going on right now. I mean, we have a stable coin bill in legislation. We have the FIT 21 bill, which is a regulatory framework bill that's going it was passed in the House. Now it's in Senate. So at some point, we are going to have signed legislation, right? And
Right.
I mean, as of now, it looks like the Republicans are going to win by a landslide. And I know that Trump's vice president has spoken out about Gary Gensler and the SEC. And he's super pro crypto. He holds Bitcoin, like, I mean, all the other stuff aside, that they're pro Bitcoin. And there's a lot of people that are voting for one thing, crypto, right? Like, because it's, it's what's important to them.
Well, and a lot of people aren't aware of what's going on because the mainstream media is not reporting it. Unless their local news stations or the nightly national news is reporting it, people aren't paying attention. People aren't researchers like you are. People aren't researchers like I am. But, so if the news media is not reporting it, they're not going to know about it. They don't even know that there's websites out there they can go to take a look at what's going on, and educate themselves.
Right.
It's funny because a lot of people will say to me, people that I know really well, they'll say, well, how do you know this? Where do you go to research it? Well, Google is your best friend right now. Chat GPT is your best friend right now. Just knowing what search terms to put into the search engines or the chat GPTs of the world, will give you a huge leg up. And it's just a matter of researching the websites. And I think that's one of the things that you taught me early on was go directly to the website. Go
Absolutely.
directly to the website. Look at who the people are that are behind the various projects. Look and see what their credentials are. Look and see what projects these particular companies are working on. It's all right there for you to see. All you have to do is go and look.
Right. I mean, and even like just go to coinbase.com and look at their slogan. Welcome to the future of money.
Right? Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, our whole entire financial system is getting an upgrade. And and I think like, because there's over 20,000 projects, right? It's
Yeah.
overwhelming. But if you just read the Bitcoin white paper, maybe read a book, the Bitcoin standard, understand what Ethereum is, why is it different than Bitcoin? Like, what's a smart contract? What does decentralized mean? Why is it better? Start
Right.
there and just look at the top 10 crypto projects and just learn about them. And then
Exactly.
you're just be like, well, content, we're moving to a new financial system.
Exactly. And people will ask me, how do you know what the top 10 projects are? Well, go to coingecko.com. It will list them in terms of market cap. Take a look at the top 10, click on their website link right there, go to their website and read up on it. That's a great way to get started, is to just educate yourself on those top 10. And if all you ever invest in is the top 10, you're going to be sitting really good.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Even with Bitcoin at 65,000, no matter what the price of Bitcoin is, I think everyone should hold a little bit, not financial advice,
Right.
but I still think that, and even if you look at the price tag of Bitcoin and you're like, it's so expensive, but one Bitcoin is made up of 100 million Satoshis. So
Right.
maybe one day when things get repriced in Satoshis, moving away from that fiat system long down the road, it
Yeah.
won't be how much Bitcoin do you hold. You'll be like, oh, that your cup of coffee is 5 Satoshis, you know?
Mhm.
So it's very possible, right? Especially since we're building the internet of value. I don't see us sending fiat for these like systems for forever,
No,
I
right?
think everything will start to be denominated in crypto, which is going to be
Exactly.
awesome, right? Just
Yeah.
like what we did, it was like, hey, Mary, thanks for helping me and Rowan out. I'm going to send you some Stellar. And again, it's like I didn't have to ask for permission. I sent it to you. You got it in probably less than a second. And it cost me, I don't know, 1/100th of a penny to send it to you.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we're
Yeah.
building a better system.
And it's sitting in my hardware wallet. And I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to go to the bank and deposit it. I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to move it from one place to another. It went straight into my wallet and it's just there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Peer-to-peer transactions.
Exactly.
I mean, and I love that, like, just the whole concept of that and how far away we got from, like, if I hand you $100 bill, that's peer-to-peer, right? But with Zelle and PayPal and Venmo and Stripe, it's all, we need permission. So everyone should think about that. You know, like, I think by the end of the year, you know, let's just put it out in the world. Like, every single person's gonna, you know, download a wallet for free. You got Exodus, you got Edge, you got Trust, it's free, right?
Mhm.
And then
Right.
buy a little bit of crypto, send it to your wallet, and boom, you just became your own bank.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Nobody has access to it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's such a feeling of sovereignty.
Right? Yeah, it is a pretty cool feeling knowing that, you've got this little hardware wallet, and even if it's just the app on your phone, you're walking around and you've got your store of values sitting there, and you can do whatever you want with it. And you don't have to worry about, is my bank going to have a financial crisis? Am I going to wake up tomorrow morning and find out that all the money in my bank account has been confiscated by the bank because they are now shutting down?
Right. And I think too, it's like, you know, if you're listening to this, like, think about your knowledge base. What happens when we go to the bank and we deposit our money, right? Well, the bank, we loan our money to the bank. The bank then loans it out to people, right? And then if the people don't pay it back, then you have unrealized losses, right? Until they
Right.
become realized. So
Hmm.
our deposits are liabilities to the bank,
Right.
right? So it's just like to be able to be our own bank is just huge. It's tremendous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It takes a little bit of brain work to kind of wrap your mind around the concept that, you now have all of your stuff on this instead of at the corner bank. And you have to kind of rewire your brain and your thinking about, how do you spend that money? What's its value? How is it going to serve you in the future? But it's just like everything. You work with it for a little while, you become used to it, it becomes second nature to you. And this has become second nature to me, rather than storing money in the bank. So it's, everybody else will get there at their own pace in their own time. And it's just going to be the way we operate in the future. Who knows how long that will take? It could take a year, it could take 20 years. Who knows? It doesn't really matter. We're heading in that direction. And that's the important piece, that we are heading it down that road of financial sovereignty, and not having to rely on the banks or the governments. And, we can do whatever we want to do without anybody telling us how or what to do, which is awesome.
Isn't that an amazing concept?
Right?
So check this out. So I saw Tangem. I just ordered one of those Tangem cards, but I think I'm gonna
Right.
order a couple more. Tangem is a hardware wallet, looks like a credit card. So you download the app and then you tap it to sync it up, you know, with your crypto. So they came out with a ring.
A
So now
ring.
a ring, so you could put the ring on. If the ring serves as your hardware wallet, and then boom, you just tap your app.
Well, that's interesting.
I kind of want one. Not gonna lie. I need another hardware wallet. So
Well, yeah, I mean, you can never have too many hardware wallets, right? Better than buying shoes.
it's way better than buying shoes. But yeah,
A ring, that's
I thought that
interesting.
was just so cool, right? So things are becoming more mainstream. It's becoming more simple. We need an amazing user interface. We need people to be able to interact with crypto without knowing that they're interacting with it.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because the concept is a little difficult for people to understand. And I know when I first got into it, oh my God, it was overwhelming for me to think about, okay, so what's the process to move things from, my Coinbase over to my hardware wallet? And I was super cautious. I didn't want to do the wrong thing and lose anything that I had bought. So you're right. In order for people to adopt this, it's going to need to be seamless and secure.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's one of the reasons why, like, I transitioned away from being a technical recruiter, because when I thought about what a hassle and what stress I was under becoming my own bank back in the day, I'm like, people who don't have strong computer skills, or, again, like having no basis of like a technology background, it is overwhelming. So,
Right.
I offer services and I help you become your own bank, and, we can share screens, and, we went through it together, and it just, the more you work with it, the better it is. But even if you just become your own bank, get your crypto off and go live your life, that's really great too, right?
Yeah.
But everyone should become your own bank.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They'll get used to the technology. Hell, we all got used to Zoom during the pandemic. Prior to that, nobody knew what Zoom was. And now we're all Zoom users and experts.
Totally. And think about with emails too. It's like we don't
Yeah,
understand how an email works,
right.
but
It does.
it just does. And with Zoom, it was a small learning curve. And even with the hardware wallets, it's a learning curve, but it's not tremendous. And there's so many people now that are providing the service, right?
Right.
So
Right.
yeah. So like I say, when in doubt, zoom out. We're dealing with our crypto. We don't want to lose any of it.
Right. Exactly.
Well, cool.
Excellent. Excellent. What else? What else is going on?
Um, I'm trying to think. I did put a trade in for XRP. I do think that the lawsuit's going to end. If not tomorrow, definitely August. If not August, definitely September. One day, Mary.
One day it will end. You're right about that.
So, as we're in a bull run, and we've talked about this, it's really hard to sell our crypto, right? So, I
Yeah.
think good practice. If the lawsuit ends, I'm expecting XRP to jump over a buck. I put in a limit order, right?
Mhm.
So I don't have to think about it anymore, right?
Right.
XRP hits my number, boom, the trade is
Yeah.
executed and it's a done deal. So, if you hold crypto and you are looking to take profits, something to think about.
Well, and don't you have a profit taking class coming up in August?
I do have a profit taking class coming up.
That's what I thought.
Yes. So
I'm
I am
excited. So tell
super,
us the details.
yeah, I'm super excited about this one, because I'm telling you, to dollar cost average during the bear market is so easy, right?
Yeah.
It's just, every other week, whatever schedule you're on, you just start purchasing crypto. But now, when you have crypto that you bought at 20 cents and now it's $3, and you think it's going to go to $5, but then you think it's going to go to $10, it's so important to take profits.
It
Most
is.
people who trade lose money. So let's make sure we all make money, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you need to take the emotion out of the trade. You need to not run on emotion when those prices are going up. And you need to have your spreadsheets now that say, okay, when XRP gets to a buck, I'm selling a certain percentage of it. When Bitcoin gets to 75K, I'm selling a certain percentage. And boom, when that happens, you just sell. You don't think about it. You don't second guess and say, yeah, but I think it's going to go up another 5 grand. So I think I'll wait. You don't know. You don't know. So you need to take your profits along the way.
Absolutely.
And because you can't predict the top of the market and you can't predict the bottom.
Exactly.
So take your profits. And we have all spent 3 years dollar cost averaging into this market and building up our portfolios. And we don't want to wait until we think we've hit the top of the market to start selling, because we're going to end up losing everything that we've invested if we do it that way. We need to be smart about this. And Andrea is the person who can teach you how to be smart about it.
Awesome. Yeah, for sure. So when's the class, Mary? I think it's August 10th.
I think it's August 10th. Yes.
At 11 a.m. I'll put the link in the description if anybody's interested, if you need some guidance on, taking profits. So this is actually our second profit taking class, because it's so important to get your strategy like nailed down. The first one was all math, and now the second one, it'll be a little bit more in depth. So I'm stoked.
And that first class was so fascinating. It was so interesting with all the math that you taught us and the calculations and how to actually look at a coin and kind of figure out, okay, what are the movements? What are the values? How do you calculate it? How do you calculate how far it can actually go and what it will take to get it there? It was a fascinating class, and I'm really glad I took that.
Oh, I'm really glad you're here. Yep, yep. So this is awesome. So Mary, how can we find you if we're having some computer trouble?
You can find me at computerdiva.biz, B-I-Z, and I own a computer repair business in the Pacific Northwest. I deal with customers all around the globe because most of my stuff is done on a remote basis. So you don't have to live down the block from me in order to me to help you fix or repair your computer. Just give me a call.
I love it. I love it. All right, y'all. So Mary, it's down again in the description. Check her out, computerdiva.biz. And I think that's it for me. Do you have any closing thoughts?
I think that's it for me as well. This has been great. Thank you for having me back.
Yeah, this has been awesome. Thanks so much for coming on. And until next time, Mary, what are we gonna do?
We're going to huddle on.
Huddle on.